Hey squad, welcome back to Prepping with Sarge. So today we're going to talk about the 6 things that you should be keeping by your bedside during tornado season. Now, I used to live in Tornado Alley, and I certainly have many memories of huddling in the center of the house, away from windows, as you're listening to your weather radio and praying that the storm cell is going to pass over your house. There was definitely a couple near misses, and have some really exciting stories, and kind of glad that I don't live in Tornado Alley anymore. Now I live in Hurricane Alley. Whole different type of preparedness, but let's stick with tornadoes for today. So let's get right into this. So this first thing that you should be keeping by your bedside during tornado season is, of course, your cell phone, right? So most people nowadays have a cell phone, have a smartphone. Go and download the weather apps for your area, and make sure you turn those notifications on, especially during tornado season, and leave your phone a little bit, turn up the volume a little bit, so that at least if a storm cell rolls through in the middle of the night, and I swear to you, it seems like they always rolled through on us at nighttime when I was in Kentucky. Very rarely did we see them during the day. And somehow at nighttime, it's so much more terrifying. But you want to be able to be woken up by that, right? And that's going to lead me into number 2. Number 2 is a good weather radio. Well, if you're going to have a smartphone with the weather apps and the notifications on, why do you need a weather radio? Well, it turns out that while I was there, now things might be better now since 5G. I don't know. You can tell me down in the comments down below. But when I was there, we would somehow get some really shady reception when there was a storm front going through, right? Like, it would just kind of mess with things. Sometimes your cell phone would work good and the alerts would work good, and sometimes they didn't. The weather radio was definitely more reliable. The signals always seem to work, and it's using that old radio signals. At least it was when we were there. You want to go to find out where the weather radio signal is for your area. And before I publish this video, I'll try to find that. There's a website where you can find what your digital code is that you need to enter into the weather radio, and I'll try to put that website down below. So you need to know how to program it and put that in. But in my experience, the weather radio was more reliable than the cell phone notifications. All right, number 3, and this is one you want to have for all of your family members, is either a neck lanyard or a wrist lanyard that has a whistle on it. And I mean a good whistle, right? Like a jet whistle. And I'll put links to those. If I can find them on Amazon, I'll put links to those down below in the description. Jet whistles. And the reason for this is if there's a storm that blows through and it knocks down some walls or knocks down your roof and you're trapped under some rubble, you want to have that whistle as close to you as possible, so that you can, as people are doing searching and recovery to try to see if there's anybody around that's still alive, you want to be able to blow on that whistle so that people can hear it from far away. Now, that's going to lead me to number 4. I would also attach to that lanyard a very small flashlight, and check your batteries, of course, right before tornado season. And so that way, if the radio goes off, everybody in the family member huddles into whatever room is safest in your house. Generally, that's going to be the ground floor and away from windows. Generally, it's going to be the center of the house. Maybe you're lucky enough that you have a storm shelter. If you got time, maybe you can get to that, right? But everybody's going to have their lanyard or their wrist lanyard with their jet whistle and their flashlight attached to it. That way it's basically on your body, okay? Now, if you say, well, I don't want a lanyard put in my pocket, okay, that's fine. This is just a suggestion. Do what's going to make sense for your family. All right, that's going to bring us to number 5. Number 5, I want you to get into the habit of, during tornado season, of keeping your boots near your bed, right? If you don't have boots, then at least your good running shoes, tennis shoes, whatever you would normally have. And if a tornado cells are passing through, if you're getting the warnings that they're imminent, everybody should have their boots or their running shoes on, right? Reason being is sometimes your shelter, wherever you're at, can become unstable. You might have to vacate the area. Your roof could get blown off. Your walls could get blown apart. People have actually gotten lifted up into a tornado and dropped down and lived through that. There's many stories of survivors of those situations. It's kind of interesting. I think that the theory is that while it picks you up really fast, as the tornado is unwinding, sometimes it unwinds slow, and it can actually drop you gentle enough that you're only going to have minor damages in some cases, right? Now, you could also get thrown and you could die. Like, that's a possibility. But many people have gotten picked up by a tornado and survived, and they've reported that either they passed out when they were in the wind, or they remember like gently falling or being almost like put down, right? So you want to have your shoes on. Lace them up good and tight, because yeah, sometimes if the tornado picks people up, it rips all their clothes off. So you want to have your boots laced on nice and tight. That's going to bring me to number 6. And number 6, this is one that I never thought of until a friend had suggested it, but some kind of like impact resistant helmet, right? So this can be a bicycle helmet, a motorcycle helmet, a football helmet. Use what you got, right? But the idea is there's a lot of debris that can start to get thrown around if your house or your shelter gets hit, and you want to protect your head, right? Now, if you don't have any of these things, then at least like cover yourself with some heavy pillows and things like that if it's about to hit your property. You want to protect your head as much as possible. Head injuries, pretty bad. Spinal injuries are pretty bad. So we do what we can to protect ourselves. We use what we got to protect ourselves. But if you've got time, why not pick up, like a bicycle helmet or something that's fairly affordable? When you start talking about motorcycle helmets and things like that and football helmets, it gets a little bit more pricey. But again, something is better than nothing, all right? Folks, if you enjoyed this, please consider giving me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I drop videos twice a week. Usually I go live on Fridays. Would love to have you join the squad. And don't forget to check down in the description down below. I have some discount codes for some products that I think you'll like, products that I think will help you on your preparedness journey. And now it's your turn. Let me know down in the comments down below if you've got any tips for surviving tornadoes or being prepared for tornadoes, or if you've had any interesting experiences with tornadoes and you want to share them down below. Keep planting your seeds, keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge.